Yo, it's the boys with the heat coming at you live. Got Charles on the mic, spitting deep facts and taste that thrive. Never forget him and his sexy shades, always in style. PR rolling in from the hot ass south. Chicago Bears fan with a smile. Better remember his name, he's the real deal, no doubt. And that guy's here too, making shit up, memes flying out his mouth. Never giving a fuck, always keeping it real, that's the vibe. Welcome to our sports podcast where we bring that hype. Boys with the heat, we're bringing the fire from the south to the north, lifting you higher. Facts and fun, we got the game on lock. Tune in, turn up, we're never gonna stop. Roar's got the insights, Bears pride in his veins. Charles with the wisdom, breaking down the games. And that guy's the wild card, memes and laughs galore. Together we ignite, keep you coming back for more. Gather round, even haters can't deny. We bring the truth and we ain't ever shy. Sports talk with a twist, yeah, you know the crew. It's the boys with the heat, always something new. Boys with the heat, we're bringing the fire from the south to the north, lifting you higher. Facts and fun, we got the game on lock. Tune in, turn up, we're never gonna stop. So stay with us through every win and loss. Boys with the heat, see the haters later in the comments.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
I've got my favorite football player's jersey on today.
Who is this young man?
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They matter. Their family.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Modern Family too, man. It's a good show. It's a good show.
Charles,
we got another flavor?
We got another flavor. Yeah.
What flavor is this one?
This one is Malone, otherwise known as melon. Melon. So
what color is it?
Green. It was green. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that's the name for all of you who want to try and pronounce it.
Let us know what it is in the comments.
Yeah. Do as you will. Let's see.
I'm just waiting for one of these days for it to just squirt in his face.
Fuck it, or just break
No
my
Diddy.
thumb, or just break my thumb.
that little marble ball that come fucking rolling out of there.
Oh, got it. Here we go. All right, we're gonna get right into this. Got to get right in the right section there. It smells pretty good.
All right.
I like that he smells it like it's wine.
He's twirling it.
Twirling it around, getting it nice and
Let me get my water. Oh. Smells like water. What we got? What we got, Charles?
It's not my favorite.
Was last time the other one much better than this one?
Oh, the other one was way better. The wife stole the blueberry one from me, and I'm sure that one was great. Hey, I'm gonna give her the rest of this one. That's for sure.
We'll see how the end of the show looks like.
Is that a glass bottle?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
glass and everything.
With a freaking marble in it, which that's the
Fancy.
part.
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of the marble though.
No, so I was looking it up.
So it's not like a flavor thing? It's just a marble?
No,
It's
I thought
just
it
a-
was. No, it's just a straight marble. So,
So
yeah.
it's- if you're one janky little kid, you can just break that fucker open and you get free marble.
So does that mean you're drinking
Well, I
metal?
mean, you take the cap off and the ball comes out.
Oh, the marble just comes out.
No,
so it's
the
just
marble.
free marble.
Yeah, the marble's glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just drinking a glass ball?
Apparently with a marble in it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the. I don't know. So I was looking it up, and
I was looking it up.
I was looking at it. Sorry.
No
sorry,
idea
sorry,
what it
sorry.
means.
Yeah, I was looking it up, and I guess the marble's just there because it's a marble.
It's a marble.
It's just a marble in a drink.
That's
wonder-
hilarious.
You'd think it would have been that maybe to restrict some of the flow.
I
Well,
guess
if you don't do it correctly, if you don't get it in this,
the angle,
oh yeah, it
the
definitely.
angle of the angle.
The ball covers the mouth hole, and then
No Diddy.
No,
Does this stop people from drinking this drink?
it stops you completely from drinking it. Yeah, so you got to
All
drink it
right, all right.
correctly.
So the balls is controlling the
Yeah.
fluids.
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah.
would one say that this is a drink not for Neanderthals?
No,
Yeah.
no.
This
There's
is
a little bit of
definitely a
math
pinkies up drink. This is a
You gotta
pinkies
have
up.
some kind of
Yeah.
brain cells to be able to drink this correctly.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
is funny.
They're fun. They taste pretty good.
I thought you were gonna give the rest of that to the wife.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I made it halfway through that. When the pinky went up, it was over.
He
It was
drank too
fucking
soon.
fun. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow. So what do we start with today, gents? Let's pull up the book. Let's pull up
There's
the
so
book.
much going on.
Okay.
I guess we can start off. We might as well start with NFL because there isn't that much, but there's enough.
Yeah. What do we got in the
Well,
NFL?
Paul and I were talking about it yesterday. Darren Waller announced his retirement from the New York Giants.
You're
Didn't he
telling
just-
me
Didn't he
this
just drop a-
man's divorce forced him into retirement?
I believe so. Was it Plum?
Yeah, Kelsey Plum.
So yeah,
What do you- what do
dude,
you
the
think-
breakup song was nuts too. Did you see
What
that?
do
He
you
had
think-
two breakup songs.
breakup
Yeah.
songs?
He had
Oh, man.
two of them.
What do you think she said? Some just nasty ass shit, motherfucker. You can't
Dude.
catch a football anyways. I ain't gonna be with a zero. I'm here for the hero.
I bet you she's got some text messages or there's something coming out. Maybe there's gonna be a song about him.
I don't know. It's just he was all right as a football player. He wasn't one of the premier tight ends in the league anyway.
He was
You don't-
better with Vegas than he was with the Giants.
Absolutely. And I'm like, having Daniel Jones, it wasn't going to make his career trajectory get any better. And then he's injury prone. So his best bet was to go into this music career that he thinks is about to take off, which I
He
don't
is
know
terrible.
how he plans
Yeah,
that.
He's terrible.
I don't know what his
I'll
friends
ne-
are telling him,
I'll never
that they need to
forget.
stop.
Hey, everybody told us to quit and told us to stop too. We didn't stop. So
Yeah.
I guess each to each their own,
He's betting on himself.
which I'm down for.
I'll never forget when we were doing our draft, and somebody in the YouTube comments came
Oh,
up.
that
and
was
they were
great.
like, Dalton Kincaid or Darren Waller.
Yeah, they
Well,
came
clearly
into
we
the
got our
live
answer
on
now.
YouTube. No, they
Wow.
came into the YouTube for advice. They thought it was a real NFL draft live. And Charles and I were some kind of NFL gurus, and Charles
Oh
was
my God.
like, roll the dice.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
I don't
Dalton
know.
Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, I said, Dalton
Yeah.
Kincaid. Darren Waller, he's on the Giants. He ain't going to get no production. I didn't
And
realize.
guess what? Now he's retired.
Now you don't even have to come back and ask that question this year. 'cause
You ain't never got to
it's
ask that
irrelevant.
question again. But if you have questions to ask, this is the place to ask them. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah, we're
steer
gonna-
you in the wrong direction.
We're gonna
no,
give
we're-
you all the sugarcoat free answers.
Oh, when we do our fantasy football draft live this year, it's going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
So, how many
Yeah.
you guys got on y'all's roster at this point, as far as like personnel?
Hopefully,
do.
everyone comes back.
I don't think everybody's coming back this year after the fallout, but
If you have an open slot, is there a buy-in or is it just for funs and giggles?
we did 20 last year.
I'm like, count me in if you need. I'll be y'all's alternate if y'all need a space to fill.
Oh no, we'll get you in there regardless.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just add an extra team.
But yeah, because we're doing our auction again. Because clearly I got to defend my title.
Right.
And we're doing an auction like we did last
Yeah.
year. I don't know if y'all have ever done an auction draft before, but that is it hurts.
That
your
gets
brain.
people mad. We thought they would be mad when Charles and I were dropping and picking players up. I can imagine what an auction would do.
Yeah,
Oh,
au-
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my
because
God.
like you get $200 to start off
Mhm.
to fill your whole roster, and then after that, there's a silent auction for the free agency wire, and you get
Better not
$100.
pick up Darren Waller.
Please don't do it.
Somebody
But
will,
it's like
though.
you can
That's the
either
fucking thing.
bid
Somebody
on
will.
somebody in the wire and hope
Yeah.
that you bid enough, or you wait till after Wednesday when the waiver wire is clear and you don't have to bet anymore and hope that whoever you wanted is still
Ooh, so
there.
it's like an eBay thing
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
But you just don't know.
you don't know who's betting on what, how much, and it's
Damn.
thankfully I had enough just through the draft
Well,
itself.
That
I
you
didn't
don't
have
even
to do
get
correct.
pissed off until the end. Then you don't get mad until you find out who actually won the player. Then you get
Yeah,
pissed.
because it'll tell
Yeah.
you who won, who got who, and you get all these. You'll put in for 3 or 4 players, and then you would get the least player that you wanted, and you find out that your brother-in-law got the player you wanted. It's just like, all right, I'm coming to your house now.
Oh,
I understand that people don't want to come back. I handed people their ass. Handedly.
and I handed you the player. So anyway, yeah.
You
It's
did.
not how you
You
start.
really did. I'm just saying. I understand why people want to want to come
Listen,
back.
when you gotta defend something that pretty,
He's got to defend it this year.
I'm going to
he's
defend it
gotta
this year.
defend it, yeah.
I want it
We-
so
we-
bad this year. You don't get it.
Because it's gonna be different this year. Because now it's like it means more if you win. Because it's not
Yeah.
only did I stomp y'all last year,
Yeah.
I stomped
I'm
y'all
gonna
2
do it
years
again.
ago.
I'm gonna do it again. And it allows me to be able to walk into a room and be announced as the back-to-back FFC baby.
Like you can call me whatever you want.
You've got that target on your back now, though.
You
got
can
a
call
target
me
on
whatever
your
you
back.
want. Just make sure that at the beginning you call me champion.
You call me champ, baby. Champ. One
That's all that
time.
matters.
When you're a champion, one time's not enough. I understand
just
why
go
Brady
away.
got 7.
He wants that title of the
My
champion.
favorite
Not just a
championship.
champion.
Agreed.
My favorite championship is the next one, and I understand. Woo!
All I can hear is the
I got 9 more fucking fingers, baby. I got 9 more fingers to fill, all right? And then we'll go to the toes, baby. We'll go to the toes, baby.
Ain't no stopping me now. I'm coming for everybody.
Speaking of football, Paul and I were talking about. Apparently, they came out with the colors for the game for the Eagles Packers.
yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
that was what I heard.
Ugliest jerseys I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, and I shared it. I think those are probably the absolute worst jerseys that anybody could put on the planet Earth.
Oh, nobody liked those Packers jerseys. Those are the old Acme Packer jerseys.
And you can ask any Philly Eagle fan, them baby blue, yellow, whatever you want to call them, those are a train wreck of a jersey. Like, those jerseys are hideous. And again, it still to this day makes no sense. Why do you send 2 teams that their primary colors are green to
The
a
primary
city
colors
that
are
has
banned.
a color band of green?
Because of
that make
gangs.
sense, NFL.
Yeah, denies Josh Jacobs. Oh, the NFL denies Josh Jacobs' gangs claims, by the way.
But the fact that you're
It
going
wasn't
to a
real. It was
stadium,
fake anyway.
we knew it wasn't real, but it's the fact
Yeah.
that you're going to a stadium that bans a certain color.
It was their it's the rival team's color is all it is.
So we'll see. Either way, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think it was already too much when they're going to UK and stuff like that, but now you're trying to
I don't know if it is going to be a good game because I feel like there's way too much distraction around it already with the whole jersey thing.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think the Green Bay Packers are young, and this stuff isn't really going to get with them. I think from everything I've seen and read this year, I think they're focused. I think they're ready. They're hungry.
Yeah.
They've been in early. They're ready to. I think last year they felt like they were like they left too much out there. They're absolutely ready to play. On that note, though, to Patrick's sense, I can also agree with that. Like, I wouldn't bat an eye if this game ends up just being butt fucking ugly and everyone around it going, Jesus Christ, dude, we didn't even really get a straight answer on why we can't wear green.
No, they didn't give a straight answer. They
Right.
literally just said it was. They gave about 5 answers, but none of them were really relative
Right.
to what people were asking.
So it does seem, again, though, when you're the NFL trying to enhance the global market, right? Your global reach. The Green Bay Packers globally are like the fucking team, right? Like, you've got America's team, but the world more or less sides with the Green Bay Packers. And just like in Brazil, when you break down the pie chart, we're talking about a very small pie here, right? Out of all of the fans, right? Green Bay holds like a 19% fan rate in Brazil. There's 32 teams and not a lot of fucking fans to go
Well, we're
around.
gonna find out
But-
how dedicated fans they are if they cheer like the German when they went to Germany. Do you guys remember when the flags went out? They were cheering like they would in soccer because they thought
Yeah.
something cool had happened. I can't wait in Brazil if they think the yellow flag comes out and they're thinking it's a yellow card and they start cheering every time there's a pass interference or a false start. You're gonna find out how much football they've actually watched in their lifetime.
Probably not a lot. But
No, and it's going to be interesting. It's
Right.
going to be fun. I don't
But-
think it's
but-
going to be negative.
I agree with you. I agree with you. A lot of the socials, though, when you dig into it, you've got a lot of Brazil
Well, there's
residents.
podcasts. There's
Yeah.
literally Packer podcasts in Brazil, from what I understand.
Yes.
But it
In
goes the
Rio,
same
I
thing
think
with
there's a
UK,
couple.
and like you said in Germany, like it's weird to see. Remember, there used to be Euro NFL over there, so it's
Yeah,
not like
there was.
they were strangers to American football. But I've never seen a fan base like that in Brazil, so I don't know exactly what to expect out of the fans.
No. I've always heard a lot of stories. So it'll be interesting to see. I know the field is going to be beautiful. The stadium's gorgeous. That stadium is gorgeous.
Fantastic.
The grass is going to be fantastic.
Real grass.
I
Real
wish
grass. Yeah.
I wish that like NFL would take that grass and put it throughout the stadiums. I don't understand why they won't. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And again, too, some of the underlying factors here, we're about to see the kickoff rules. We got the Hall of Fame game, but those kickoffs are going to be terrible in the Hall of Fame game. We're going to get a small idea, but week fucking 1, where it is now what happens this week could affect what goes down the stretch. Non-conference game, but it's important. It's the kickoff of the season.
It's going to be very interesting to see the new change. Just because
looking in, is Anders Carlson for the Green Bay Packers the starting kicker next year?
No,
you don't believe so?
I think it's a committee.
You think it's a committee? Because they did pick up the ex-guy from the Vikings, correct? He's there.
Because here's the thing. Carlson was pretty fucking good outside of Fitty.
He can boot it.
Joseph outside of Fitty is pretty terrible, but inside of Fitty, Joseph is a machine. That dude is a damn robot. I believe in Minnesota at one point his nickname was like Legatron or some shit like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, Green Bay ended up breaking him one game. They blocked a kick, and then he missed a couple, and he's terrible from outside.
I think he had like a bad 4-game stretch for the Vikings, and that's when he got canned.
But he coming out to start the career, he did really well. The competition is going to be great. I think he's going to be our field goal kicker, and the place kicker.
He better kick our extra points.
Yeah, and the place kicker is going to be who can ever.
Who can ever boot the fucker? Yeah.
Carlson he missed the most kicks.
Extra points, yeah.
He was terrible. I haven't seen the kid's work ethic, but from kickers, you know how I feel about this. If you're not putting in 8 to 10 hours a day, I don't want to talk to you. I don't think you're going to keep your job very well. I think that's the formula. When you look at the Vinatieri's and the Robbie Goulds if you didn't see them dicking around on the sidelines until the end of their career. When you would see videos of them, they're kicking, they're placing, they're talking, they're out there doing shit. Today's kickers, you see them joking and laughing whenever the cameras are around, and you don't see what's going on behind the cameras. I know, but I see what's going on the cameras, and what I see pisses me off.
Let's give props where props is due. Paul, did you hear about this? Charles and I spoke about this on our last episode. The NFL did implement a new technology for the hamstring. That was what Christian Watson took full advantage of. Apparently, the NFL has done a lot of research and put some money into investing into machines to be able to find out how to get rid of this hamstring thing for the NFL players, which is fantastic.
Right.
Because so many hamstring injuries hurt teams, players, younger players.
You can't extend the season without figuring that hamstring thing out. I truly believe that.
Lingers.
And I think they were seeing dollar signs disappear too off contracts, the back end of ticket sales. Yeah. So props to the NFL for figuring that out finally, even though they've got 100 million other fucking questions that need to be answered before.
Some more Green Bay Packer news. Bell & Health Family Night was announced. Packers Family Night, presented by Bell & Health, will take place Saturday evening, August 3rd, now in its 23rd year.
Every time I've ever wanted to go to it, it was lightning.
Doors for the event will open up at 5:30 p.m., with the team taking the field for warm-ups at 7 p.m. and practice beginning at 7:30. You cannot purchase more than 10 tickets. You can't purchase more than 10 fucking tickets. But go ahead and get your tickets for those at all places you find your tickets right now. That'd be pretty awesome to go to. Yeah. But yeah, Patrick, the weather has been terrible. It rained 60% of fucking June or May, and we're on pace for almost 60% of June already. So chances are it's probably going to be raining. It's going to rain till it fucking snows.
Fucking August, though. It's August, though. We're not on pace yet. I mean, if July's
it's just going to rain, dude. It's just going to fucking rain all through August. That's just how it's going to be. Get your fucking rain jackets out.
Get your rain, get your ponchos, get your rain jackets,
Get your fucking hoodie out there, man.
get them umbrellas ready.
Fuck,
folks.
dude, I had to fucking raise my lawnmower up a whole goddamn inch because yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah, it's
like it's
getting
just
bad. The
going
grass-
so fucking fast. I can't keep up with it, and it rains so
Maybe.
much.
Be shipping all that hay
listen.
down by you guys down in Texas because man, they're cutting fields like
It
crazy
gets
up here.
dry down here, but
Yeah.
it's when it rains. I think it was like about a month ago. It rained. We had just cut the grass, and then a week of just straight rain. And I'm like, why is my backyard look like a daggone swamp back there? It's just, how did my grass? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Thinking
And it's
about
like-
ripping it all up and putting clovers in. It's good for the environment, and I ain't gotta cut the shit.
The fucking crabgrass like they got on the golf course.
I'm just gonna clover the fuck out of it, man.
Yeah.
But I can't do that though. I love the grass that you could take your shoes and socks off, and it's soft and squishy.
My wife can't do that, and one of my dogs can't because they're allergic to grass.
Yeah, that's a skill issue, bro. Tell them
I'm
figure
like-
it out. Put on shoes and shit. Wait, they got them fake feet at the toes.
Listen, when my sister got married, she got married in this outside venue, and they had to put a stone where my wife would stand so her feet wouldn't swell up from the grass.
Oh man. Oh
Sorry,
man.
my dogs are in
Oh
the
yeah, you good? You good?
Oh, breaking Bears news. Mercedes
Bears news.
Lewis resigns with the Chicago Bears.
Say that one more time.
Breaking Bears news. Tight end Mercedes Lewis resigns with the
yeah.
Chicago Bears for his 19th
19th
season.
year.
19 seasons.
Did you hear about the guy who said that Caleb Williams was closer to Mitch Trubisky than he was Justin Fields?
And I told Charles that he's closer to Joe Montana than Caleb Williams is to,
I'm not about to
Patrick.
dive into these ridiculous human beings that want to just drag
Hey,
Caleb right now. I'm like,
we-
how many people were saying that we needed to draft Caleb, and then the moment we draft Caleb, now everybody and their mama wants to drag this man.
It's like the floodgates opened up.
It's
All
like,
right,
I don't know, make up y'all's mind.
Paul, Charles and I expect a week-to-week Caleb evaluation out of you since you're a Bears fan. You have to give it to us every
I'm
Sunday.
here
You
for
got to give it to us.
Listen, what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna
Sugarcoat it.
sugarcoat
No
nothing.
sugarcoat.
Because and then I broke an unwritten rule only because I had a very special human that could get me a plug. I bought me a Rome Odunze jersey and a Caleb Williams jersey, and I also got me a DJ Moore jersey. But it's just,
Hey, as long as they stick around, it's worth it.
Please don't disappoint me, Caleb Williams. Please don't, because I would hate to have.
Let's touch on this. Let's touch on this for just a moment. Are you expecting 10 wins?
Yeah,
I think you're going to be disappointed then. I think if you come into it around 8,
I hear you. I still think it's going to be 10. Some of them are definitely going to be a little questionable just because.
well, the strength of schedule is in the favor.
Right. It's the beginning of the schedule definitely plays our favor. But
Right.
it's having all the division games on the back nine, which is going to make it questionable on some of those wins. But I can say between 8 and 10 wins, and I still be okay. Again,
So if
long
they
as
make
they're
it to
protecting-
8,
I can see 8. I wouldn't be upset at 8 again. 'cause
okay.
we went from 5 to 8, so we're still
Yeah.
improving. At the end of the day, he's a rookie quarterback. All these analysts that are saying they see Caleb Williams, winning a Super Bowl in his rookie year. Calm down, relax, chill out. Like, you need to relax. Go sip some tea, drink some coffee, get your back rubbed because you're acting retarded. Like, he's good, but he's still a rookie. He still got to get acclimated to this NFL speed. This isn't the Pac-12. This isn't the Big 12 where he first has as a freshman. Let's calm down with these whole Super Bowl in the first year predictions. Let's just try to make it to the playoffs. Let's baby step this.
That's
Go
what
ahead,
we
Patrick.
said. No, that's what you and I said. We
Yeah.
said expect 8 wins. If they overperform or outperform expectations, it's 10.
It's fantastic because that was the same thing that what happened with the Cubs in 2015. I didn't expect them to make it to the NLCS in 2015, but they made it. That was a year earlier than what I expected them to do it when we
Sure.
hired Fanatics. And then the
Right.
very next year, we went back to the NLCS and just took it a step further and won the whole thing. Again, expectations for certain things, watching these rumors and these groups that I'm in on Facebook and on TikTok, these people are just weird. Y'all are sounding ridiculous. Y'all are delusional. Like, we just went from having 2 back-to-back years having the number 1 overall pick. What Super Bowl are you looking at?
Well,
This is
I
the
mean-
Detroit Lion people all over again.
Yeah.
Charles, go ahead, take this.
If I could get on board with wild card playoffs,
Right.
if the
Yeah.
quarterback wasn't learning where he can and can't throw it in the NFL. And which means to me, analytically, that the games that come down to Jordan Love's last throw in the playoffs.
Right.
The guy's open, but you ain't making that throw in any universe. Brett Favre would try and throw that throw, and he ain't going to make it either. So those picked moments, I think, is what is going to stop that door specifically. Right. But yes, I mean, anything between 7 and 9 wins. 7 and 9 wins, I think, which I believe is why Vegas has 8.5. I wouldn't be comfortable betting the under. Sitting here with my real money, I wouldn't be comfortable betting.
Not with the schedule that
not
they
with
have,
the
no.
schedule they have
Right.
at 8.5 wins.
But 8 wins, I would be 8 to 9 wins. I would say I'm with you. 7
8 to
overall
9 wins, you're in the
and on
hunt
the
for a
high end.
playoff spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we make a wild card spot, again, for me, and this any other Bears fan can say whatever they want. They can say I'm not a real fan. They say you're a little punk.
Well, you seem
whatever.
centered. You seem centered. So a collective base of centered individuals.
Optimistically, I want 11 to 12 wins. Optimistically.
Right.
Realistically, I'm going to say between 8 to 10 wins.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, again, we have a rookie quarterback. We have a lot of new weapons that haven't played in this system yet, and we have to figure out how this works. So,
And the other kicker, too, and here's something crazy. Mercedes Lewis is a really good pickup because he's somebody who can get maybe 3 targets a game and be happy he's just on a football team.
Good pass blocker.
You're not going to get away with throwing the ball 10 times to Rome and 4 times to Keenan Allen. That's just so there is going to be that. Also, it's going to be interesting to see how the rookie handles the ball distribution.
he has a lot of weapons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they got tight ends. That's not even their number 1 wide receiver. The number 1 wide receiver is DJ Moore.
You got Moore, Rome, and Allen as your receivers, and you got
Allen's probably your number 1 now, but
Right.
you got Ahmet, Gerald Everett, and then you just re-signed Mercedes Lewis. So you have 3 tight ends, 3 receivers, and your running backs that can all do pass and catch.
So the Bears' success comes down to their offensive line and their defense 100% this year.
And I think
and I'm not even so much worried about the defensive side.
Offensive coordinator as well.
I'm not so much worried about the defense as much as I am on the offensive line, because now we've signed and we drafted a few pieces over the last couple of years to plug in certain things. But again, it all boils down to now that we got all the legitimate pieces that everybody's been crying about, including me. Now that all the pieces are there and in play, how do we perform? Because they've gotten us what we've been crying for. Now, how do the players and the coaches are able to put everything together and make it look like, oh, this is potential right here?
Do you agree with if it was Aikman or one of the guys on the NFL Today or whatever came out and said that Caleb Williams' ceiling is more of what Caleb Williams' ceiling is more of what Kyler Murray's rookie season was, but don't expect that for 2 to 3 seasons.
So you're saying it's going to be a slow progression, basically?
Charles brought out the fact that Kyler Murray had one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. And in order for him, and Kyler Murray did not have who did he have?
He had
when he was drafted.
D-Hop.
He had one. Yeah.
And he had the back end of AJ Green, but that wasn't anything fantastic. Right.
But that was the comparison
now. Way better.
Yeah, but that was the comparison they gave, and I agreed with it to an extent. I said, but we just don't know. You don't know.
I think the division that Caleb plays in is going to sharpen him, but it's also going to be the reason why playoffs are going to be difficult.
You got a crazy pass rush.
Because
Yeah,
arguably
going to humble him.
the Minnesota Vikings are still a good team. We're going to see what they can do, but they're still a good team. And then you've got Detroit and Green Bay.
Am I going to go in every game hoping that I'm going to win every game? Absolutely, because I'd be stupid.
Right.
I'm like, it's the fan in me will always go, we got this.
I like the roster for the Bears over Minnesota's. I do.
I have to bring myself down to earth. I don't want to have this twilight zone of a mentality that we can come out here and get 13, 14 wins this season and win realistically. And again, it's not saying that we can't. It's just, let's just realistically look at this schedule, especially the back nine is going to be the hardest for us because that's where all the division games are.
The first 5 is your confidence booster and your builder for Caleb Williams because, like you said, they're realistically the first 7 games they could go 5-2,
easy,
or they could go 2-5. It depends on if, like you said, if this team gets hot and they go into what was it? Didn't we call it, Charles, something about week 9 or something like that?
Either week 8 or week 9.
No, I'm a firm believer. And talk to me after Thanksgiving.
I'm like, that's a legitimate time frame to see what kind of team this is going to be, and not just for the Bears. That's any good, solid team that's trying to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Thanksgiving is around the good time to dictate. All right, where are we going with this?
Yep. But you can be completely out of the playoffs by Thanksgiving because that's like week 11.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's,
you could be way out of the playoffs by then.
But here's the best part about talk to me at Thanksgiving. If you're out of the playoffs and you're coming up to me trying to talk to me about it at Thanksgiving, you ain't going to get a lot out of me. And you definitely,
unless you're a Lions fan every year outside of last season.
Yeah, certain games you're going to get something out of me regardless just because of the matchup.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm growing up, though. I feel like I'm growing up. If you poke the bear, I'm going to gargle for the most part. Yeah.
But if your team by Thanksgiving isn't showing an effort that they're trying to make a playoff push, there's nothing that we have to talk about at this point.
Right, absolutely. We'll talk about you by the end of the season. Yes, we will.
But in the
draft
middle
position,
season, if there's no playoff push coming out of your team.
Yeah.
What are we doing at this point? You know.
And every once in a while, when you win a game you shouldn't, we'll laugh at you because you fucked your draft position.
Because you're just making it worse.
You're just making it worse. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I like to talk about the teams that have done the work via Thanksgiving when you've put in the work. Now, of course, as a Green Bay Packer fan, we get to talk about them often, but there's always a chance, especially on this show, one day where we won't be talking about them much after Thanksgiving. I don't see that anytime soon, but.
And even this is the thing, when it comes to our division, though, Thanksgiving, regardless of what our records are, that game will always be talked about just because the history, regardless who's playing, whether it's me or you or Lions and the Vikings. Honestly, I've never seen the Vikings play on Thanksgiving, to be honest.
I haven't either.
So, all right, I guess we can roll right into the next one here. You guys been watching any of the NBA playoffs?
Yes.
You've been watching the fact that Boston is completely obliterating.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Dallas.
I've got something to say on this. Kyrie Irving is finally winning a championship for Boston. I think Boston fans should back the fuck off and let the kid do what he's doing very well. He is allowing Boston to win a championship because arguably
he disappeared.
He ain't showed up. I'm not supposed to be in a Dallas jersey. I'm supposed to be in a Boston.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Luka is the best player on the court. He's the the best player on the court, and nobody is showing up for this kid. Nobody.
I am befuddled at the sheer just what is happening, and they
got no bench. They got no bench.
Everybody playing their role.
All right,
go ahead.
I'll just go through the bench for you real quick.
Go ahead.
Kleber. Any of these guys you recognize the name? Kleber, Lively.
Yeah, I know Lively.
Green, Exum, Hardy. Markieff Morris, Prosper. Tim Hardaway Jr. used to be a really good player, and he hasn't done shit.
That's because he should have stayed at Michigan for one more year.
He's been in the NBA for 6 seasons.
And look at it, showed. You pulled the pot too early, and now it's stale.
I don't know. I think he averages like 14 or 15 a game. He's not a terrible player, but he's not a superstar.
No, he's been
No,
a good
no,
role
no,
player.
no.
So
No,
Dallas
not by
is
any means.
Dallas is another superstar or all-star away from a championship. Let's just be honest.
Well, if Kyrie Irving would have shown up at all, these games would be different. Now, yes, Dallas did get boned in this last game on a penalty that should have been and that wasn't. But that's been the MO of refs this year. They've got some union thing going on.
Otherwise,
What's that?
the score from game 1 is 107.89 and game 2 was 105.98. Yeah, that might have been closer than game 1.
No,
but it's
it
just
was
like,
when that penalty happened in game 2. The difference is Dallas has the ball by, I think, 2.
you talking about the PJ Washington's?
Yeah.
That definitely
Dallas.
should have been-
Yeah, Dallas or
definitely
Boston has the ball by 2, and then Dallas doesn't have to foul. Right
Yeah.
now, okay, Boston
Yeah.
may have scored a basket, blah 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 blah
I'll
blah.
give you that one.
But again, Kyrie Irving shows up at all.
All right, here you go. Fun fact. I'm going to give you a chance to guess a couple things. I'm going to give you 2 things. Field goal percentage for Kyrie in the postseason NBA finals so far.
Just
The final so far, 28%.
percentage. Close. Paul,
24.
35%.
35,
Still, that is
yeah.
terrible.
That-
Most
I'm the closest to that going over.
no, free throw percentage, 100%, 2 of 2. So he's only gotten to the line once,
Yeah.
one effing time.
Which
Okay,
which is putting a
that-
lot of stress on Luka's
that's-
shoulders. You could see it.
he's missing a shit ton. Kyrie he's got 28 points in 2 games. He's averaging 14 a game. You're an elite basketball player. You should be averaging about 22 to 25 to help your boy out. And guess what? If he was averaging that, they would have won both games.
Oh, absolutely.
You see the total bench scoring from Dallas.
It was
game
like
2.
9 points last game.
They
Yeah,
got
like 9
a total of 9 points off the bench.
Yeah,
Nobody even
Fucking
20
terrible.
points. More than 20 points. The person of 20 points was Kyrie Irving, other than Luka. 32 points.
And
Nobody
meanwhile,
shot made a
Boston's
three
bench.
outside of Exum and PJ Washington. All the threes came from Luka. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna cut it.
No, it's not.
It's
And
not gonna-
it's putting a lot of stress. Game 1 put a lot of stress on Luka.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the end of by halfway through the third quarter, with Kyrie being, hey, let me give this to Boston so their fans get off my ass. He started making some super uncharacteristic plays, and it led to 8 turnovers. 4 of them were just ridiculous.
Here's the
Tossing the
thing.
ball behind his back up in the air. Woo.
But
Dallas
even
is
game 1 was
100% in
trash.
desperation mode. They're going to come out and they're going to give everything they got to win game 3. But guess what? They're going to be tired. They're going to lose game 4. They're going to be down 3-1. They're not going to get swept, but they're going to lose this series 4-1.
I've been
I'm like,
wrong.
so here's my question though, because let's be realistic here. As good as Boston is playing, Tatum is not the guy in the finals for Boston.
No, game 1 it was
that
Porzingis.
belongs to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, game 2.
Jaylen Brown is the finals MVP as it stands right now for Boston. Without the play of
What?
Jaylen Brown,
What? Not Dingus Pingus? Not Dingus Pingus?
biggest,
No.
listen, the unicorn, Mr. KP, he's coming off the bench playing good. I'm just saying, he did all right. He did really good game 1.
He was
But
the reason they won game 1.
Yeah.
Dingus Pingus.
Game 2, he had 12 points. But game 1,
And
Porzingis
he got
was
hurt.
on fire.
Oh, yeah, he was
on fire
shooting
in the
freaking
half.
30-foot triples. He was shooting like
he was
Doncic.
blocking everything.
Yeah. Looking like
But
Michael
Jaylen
Jordan.
Brown has emerged this NBA Finals as the guy. And I'm not taking anything away from Jason Tatum, but Jason
Here's the
Tatum
problem.
is still a superstar. He's still a
Dallas-
superstar. He's still
Dallas
top
don't got
5.
nobody to cover him.
Top 10, top 5, however you want to, depending on the person. But right now, in this season, in this NBA Finals, the guy for Boston is Jaylen Brown.
Would
And
you
if
rather-
Boston wins it, I promise you it's probably going to be because of Jaylen Brown.
All right. Would you rather Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum.
I might get some flack, but I'm probably taking Anthony Edwards.
I'm taking Anthony Edwards too. Okay.
Why? He couldn't get past them.
I
Couldn't
hear
get
you.
past Dallas. Can't play. He doesn't play defense. He don't play D.
I don't know. I just
Tatum at least plays defense, even when he's playing like crap on offense. He's a great defender.
I'm
All
like,
NBA
either
defensive
answer
team.
isn't wrong. I'm like, they're both great players. I'm just like, if I'm putting the chips right now, I'm putting it on Tatum, on Anthony Edwards as the guy that I would build around.
Here's the thing with Minnesota, needs to get rid of Cat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
So
what about Kevin Durant to Minnesota?
I thought Kevin Durant was going to. Where the hell would they say he was going?
Oh,
He was going to be.
back
It was
to
going to
OK.
be. Yeah, but him and LeBron are going to OKC or some shit.
My
I
God.
don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about speculation and tesculation and testicles, spectacles, wallet, and watch.
Testicles, spectacles.
Dan Hurley said no to the Lakers.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Not incredibly surprised.
I'm not, for one reason. LeBron James. I would not want to coach LeBron James. I would not want to coach a LeBron James
I'm
team.
just saying, look what's happened.
And
I think it came down to
Darvin
Dwight after
Ham,
those comments.
Already
big
has
news,
a job.
big news for the Milwaukee Bucks.
He just got
Darvin
signed.
Ham coming to the Milwaukee
Coming
Bucks.
back to Milwaukee because wasn't he in Milwaukee before he went to LA?
I believe so. Coming
So how
back
is this
as
going to work?
he's coming back as Doc Rivers #1, and I promise you, he's going to be Doc Rivers' replacement if Doc doesn't win a championship.
Or you think that they halfway through the season they just
No.
say, "Fuck it."
Again, we have to remember.
I don't think this is a bridge thing. This is a just in case Doc Rivers doesn't pan out. At
Yes.
least we have a competent. Because listen,
And-
we all agree that he shouldn't have been fired in LA because that wasn't all on
Oh
him.
yeah, he was fired May 3rd. The Lakers still don't have a coach.
And
Fun fact for all you people out there.
said, I don't want to coach there. Again, LA right now, I feel at this point has become a black hole of you. If you don't win in the first 2 years, you're gone. You don't even get a chance to get your feet wet as a Lakers head coach.
Yeah, they
Which
haven't
is-
won since the fake bubble.
And even within, he won in 2020, and a year later, you get fired. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
Told you the NBA's become a
Well,
fucking circus. NBA's a circus.
But you're not allowing a head coach. I understand the Lakers organization is this magical place that is prestige and
Used to be.
excellence and all that. But you're not allowing a head coach to build a program, build an offense, build a type of environment from his playbook because they're not winning at the pace that you want them to. I understand that, but listen, you keep going at this pace, they're never going to win crap.
They're gonna be the Clippers 2.0.
They are going to be the
That's
laughing
what they
stock.
are right now.
Well,
And then it's like they're still trying to build around LeBron, which again, they need to stop that.
I think he's gone at this point with no coach.
And
I think
this
he's
is
gone.
Any team that signs LeBron, I get that he is that guy. But at this point in his career, you can't build a team around LeBron because he's gone after a couple years. He's retiring soon.
you shouldn't have been building a team around LeBron 3 years ago. And that's the mistake, right? LeBron, while the longevity is cool, all right? And
But
again,
y'all are not thinking long term for the team.
we,
Well,
we
you
give,
don't like
we give
Charles is
LeBron
saying.
James a lot of smoke, but none of us say LeBron James is a terrible basketball player.
No, you don't. Charles,
He's in
come
the
on.
top 5 all time, in my
What
opinion.
you're trying to say is you don't build around LeBron. You bring LeBron.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you're not going to give up your whole system for one player and then it goes to crap.
Right. Can you imagine how great your team would be if LeBron James was coming off the bench?
Even if you still had Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball,
25 minutes a
Julius
game is all
Randle,
you
those
need.
players developing with
You could
LeBron
play him
James.
25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
25 minutes a game. 25 minutes a game from LeBron.
But
You
they're
don't even
asking
need to play him the
so
first
much
quarter.
of him, and
No.
it's not working. You're asking too much of him at this point in his career, and it's not working.
He's the self-proclaimed king, so I promise you he's the one putting that weight on his own shoulders, which is ridiculous. But the fact that there isn't a person in the NBA apparently that can look at LeBron James and go, "Yo, bro, sit the fuck down." That doesn't make sense to me.
Nobody can look him in the eyes.
What
he's
happened
that
to
much of
the-
a figurehead?
What
I feel
happened
it
to-
did make him the head coach?
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter how big Michael Jordan was. If Phil Jackson told him to sit down, he sat the fuck down.
But this is
Same
the
thing with Kobe. Same
That's
thing
what
with
he did
Shaq.
in Washington when he brought
Eric Spoelstra with Dwayne Wade.
He brought old boy to the Wizards before he came out. He said the way that he coached him in Chicago, that listen, yeah, you're that guy, but I'm still the coach. So you still got to run the plays that I tell you to run.
Right.
Period. And
Right.
so to think that Hurley didn't want to come here. He literally declined a 6-year, $70 million contract.
But with California taxes, that's not as great as we think.
But either way,
I know. I just got to stretch that.
Job, because it's like, one, you have it way better right now in Connecticut.
Which they're looking to make him the highest paid college basketball coach.
Again, you're the back-to-back national champion. I'm like, you've earned a paycheck. And then if you're able to repeat for 3 times, again, you've earned that. There's no guarantee that you're going to win a title in the first 2 years in LA with the team you have right now, even if LeBron leaves. That just makes, what are you doing? You're building around AD, which you should have been doing.
Yeah. Now,
let's be honest.
His brother was a good basketball player, but this eventually, I think the family's going to break into the NBA, and it's going to be just like the Harbaugh family in the NFL and college and high school.
But do you really think an NBA championship is that much greater than an NCAA championship?
I think
the NBA championship has been tainted for fucking years since this whole
I think Adam
lockdown
Silver
shit.
has ruined it. But with the way college is today, I think the more difficult task is to not win back-to-back college championships, but in fact just win fucking one.
That's why I'm thinking he's got a legacy going right now. He's got back-to-back.
Not really let go of that.
And not only that, he's bringing in one of the best recruiting classes in the country. He could literally go back-to-back.
And
like Charles, he's not just going for 3. He's going for 10. And the toes are next, like you said.
Not one, not 2.
This is the crazy thing, though. What makes it harder than the NBA for me, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, the NBA, when you're on a contract, majority of those players are the same people that are going to come back 2-3 years into your coaching job.
Yeah.
In college, there's a very good chance that your best players are leaving the next year. So you're constantly having to rebuild and sustain team to compete every year.
Do you want to? I'm about to say something that's going to ruin coaches' recruiting. Okay? Check this out. Check this out. If I'm a great player,
right,
I want to go win a natty.
Correct.
But winning back-to-back natties don't mean shit when my major goal is the NBA. So now I'm going to win a natty with you.
And bounce.
And then I'm going to go play for somebody else where I can beat him.
Right.
And then I can showcase my skill for the NBA draft. And maybe to be him, I got to stay at this school for a couple extra years. But I've already won my natty, so I don't care. Or maybe I go be him and then I go win the natty, right?
College basketball keeps players in a lot longer than the NFL does because there's only 2 rounds of draftable players.
The NBA got terrible when the one and done became a thing.
Yeah.
The one and done has produced like what? Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James.
But how many one and done lottery picks are out of the league completely that never even had a chance?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
We should look into that one episode. I think that's a cool thing to look into.
I am a firm believer that the NCAA and NBA needs to do one of 2 things. One, get rid of this one and done college thing forever because it's not doing anything but putting. I understand the financial purpose behind it. But
just allow them to opt in. If you want to play in the NBA at 18 years old, go for it. That's
out
you.
Of high school into the NBA, or you got to do 3 years of college minimum.
Yeah, just do what college football
the girls
does.
have to do 4 years before they can get into the league. Why can't the boys do 3 years? I'm like, it'll still create money because at the end of the day, I'm like, you're allowing the guys that can't jump into the league right away. You're allowing those kids to go to college and develop and be able to become these superstars that come into the league and possibly make the league that much better than what it is. Ooh. But you're allowing these one and dones that are here for a flash, and then 2-3 years later, they fizzle out because they can't hang in the league.
But you want to know something even worse? This Gabe Stevenson thing with the Buffalo Bills, right? This guy never fucking put the pads on one time in his life, and he's getting a shot. He's getting a shot in the NFL. And that ain't fair to all those college kids who didn't get drafted.
Why are you
signing him? This is a fucking slap in the face. Because he's a freak athlete. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world ever. College wrestler, high school wrestler. He's insane. That doesn't mean you're a great football player, right, Charles?
Right. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this one. For all them kids who didn't get drafted, you should have played harder. You should have.
Well, I
you
don't think
should
it
have.
has anything to do with that. There's hundreds of kids who don't get a shot because there's only so many spots.
No, I understand that. But like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Maybe this kid was in the gym at 4:30 while everyone else got to the gym at 7:30. I don't disagree with you, but on the devil's advocate side, a freak athlete ends up being a freak athlete wherever he is.
Yeah.
But he's never put the pads on or the cleats. He's never played football.
Yeah, personally, my personal opinion, big bust.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's more of a shock and awe type thing for the publicity bullshit part of it than it is anything.
Talking about shock and awe, quick little segue here.
We can go right into it. Hit us with it, Charles.
Caitlin Clark not being on the USA basketball team.
She's not that upset about it.
Here's my thing. And it's not that I don't think Diana Taurasi should have been on there. I think the veteran leadership mixed with the young talent is spectacular.
I want her to be the captain if she's on there.
Right. But where have the eyeballs been on Caitlin Clark? But just for her talent alone allows her to be on that team. But can you imagine the amount of coverage the USA women's basketball tournament would have received with Caitlin Clark on there? I think it's going to be a huge decrease in viewership.
I thought all those girls that are on there, the women, all hate her though.
Oh
But
yeah,
they were the
no,
ones
this is
talking
definitely
shit. That's why
Isaiah
they-
Thomas
that's
and
why-
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons.
Definitely Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
I thought you were going to go, but on the other hand, it would
Yeah.
cause a lot of drama, and we just don't need that as a country.
No, hell no. I don't give a shit about that. I want the best of the best to be out there.
want the
and
best
if you're
of the best.
and if you're representing the United States of America, your fucking pride,
Paul
your
brought up a
personal
really good
fucking
point, too.
feelings need to be shoved into a condom and right up your ass.
So people kept asking, they kept saying, well, I said it too. I'm like, why not any of these other younger players? Well, apparently a lot of them missed the deadline.
That's so
they
they're
missed the deadline.
So one of the reasonings behind Caitlin Clark not being there is
Because they were in the NCAA,
they were in the NCAA tournament.
championship.
Yep, they were in the tournament and they weren't able to make it to any of the practices.
I think,
Well, I
Cleveland,
think that's
they had
fucking
one.
poppycock.
Right. You don't think about this ahead of time that some of the college athletes are going to be pursuing a
I'm
championship
watching
in the
you
tournament.
Play games. And I'm watching what's happening while you're playing games. You're not able to recreate that same intensity in practice. We're talking about practice.
You're telling me
Practice.
Caitlin Clark missed the deadline to apply, because that's basically what you're telling me.
No,
She was
no.
actually eligible. She
She's
just didn't make it
eligible.
to any of the
She just
practices.
wasn't able to make it to any of the practices.
Because she's busy trying to make the league
Yes.
by basically
Playing
auditioning in
basketball.
the NCAA tournament like
Yes.
she does every year before she joins.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm just gonna say this just to say it. Am I a Caitlin
Yes.
Clark fan? Ish. I'm yes and no.
I like watching her play.
However, you're not gonna sit here and tell me what she brings to the court isn't good enough because she missed a couple of practices. You got to be sitting on some pins and needles trying to appease somebody that at the end of the day, I'm with you, Charles. I don't like you. Fine. But for these 2 weeks that we're over here in Paris trying to win a gold medal, suck it up and put it to the side.
Because you're representing something bigger than yourself.
We're not here. You're not a Phoenix Mercury. You're not an Indiana Fever. You're not a Chicago Sky. You're not an LA Spark. You're Team USA. That's a different banner that you're trying to carry at this point. And you're telling me you're too much of a.
Did you see this headline? It's a real headline.
A pussy fart.
No,
you don't
on
want
Twitter.
somebody on your team because you're.
No.
You're nothing but a pussy fart.
Caitlin Clark's mother is an Italian immigrant. She could literally apply to be on the Italian national team.
Oh, that'd be great.
When she won't, and I don't think they would allow her. They wouldn't. You have to get some kind of waiver, but I don't believe they would let her because I think there was a couple other NBA players that played on
Joel Embiid
teams,
is
even though they were Americans.
He
Yeah,
could play
Joel
for
Embiid.
you.
I don't
Wouldn't
think
that be funny if
I don't
she
think
played
CC's a dual citizen though.
No, I'm just saying if she wanted to, like Patrick said, she could.
No,
apply
she could apply for a waiver because her mom was an immigrant.
Yeah.
So she could apply for dual citizenship if she wanted to. It's just for.
I don't think this year, but I mean in the future, maybe. I don't know. It'd be funny. It'd be funny.
But DT's not going to be around in 4 years when they go back to the Olympics. I'm like, most of these players are probably not going to be on the team
No.
USA.
Let's be honest. Her time is coming, and I think she's just like, all right, you got.
My major point with this is if that the main objective is to bring more fans and to bring more eyeballs to a collective group, then why wouldn't you bring the highly talented, highly coveted individual that is progressing, intensively progressing? I think the second word may have been wrong, but regardless, the trajectory of your sport. It makes no sense to me.
Are they greedy that they just want the U.S. just wants the capital? They don't want to share it with the Olympic Committee?
Let me ask you this question.
I'm not trying to put that out there like it's not true.
Right.
Wouldn't they have to share revenue?
Give me another player in any sport that has been on the most shittiest team that continues to sell out arenas all over the country.
Charles, are you Googling?
No.
Oh,
I was like,
the only player that I can think of was when I believe Shaq was with Anthony Hardaway, and Orlando was absolutely dog shit when they drafted Shaq, maybe.
So that was back, what, in 94, 95?
Yeah, 91, 92, I think.
So again,
but remember, they were terrible. They were god awful. That was like the Scott Skiles.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Because everyone wanted to see
the fuck you got
freaking
Brittany Griner on the team for?
Charles, Paul and I kind of joked about this. I said, for one, she doesn't belong on there. I think she's averaging 8-9 points a game. I don't know.
That's just average for the WNBA.
He brought up 7 or 8 guys, ladies.
I'm like,
ladies
there's enough. You could have brought Angel Reese, even though you don't like her. You could have brought out Cameron Brinks from the Sparks.
Right.
There's definitely other.
Looking at the bigs on the team too, like CC definitely could have been there instead of Brittany.
There's a couple of bigs in Dallas that would have been just fine on that roster.
Let's go around the horn right now.
Between Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart, you ain't gonna have another big in there. You're not.
Those two alone probably could do 2-on-5 and win the gold.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. Those are two of the Asia Wilson. Asia
Wilson is a
she
beast.
was fucking insanity. She's the best
Nobody's
basketball
stopping
player.
Asia.
Oh my
I've seen
god!
in a long fucking time. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Cameron Brinks may not be in the Team USA.
I think they made the 3-on-3 team.
They didn't make the practice. They didn't make practices.
She's on the 3-on-3.
They made the fucking practice. But all right, let's go around the horn. With or without Caitlin Clark, are they winning gold?
Yeah.
They're probably going to win it with their B squad. Their bench probably is going to score 60 points. So,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen any female.
The only issue I had, and I think I brought it up to you guys, and I said, my comment on that post was, Taurasi's got 5 gold medals. At what point do you just say, what the fuck do I need to have another one for?
Well, again, too.
20 years of fucking being in the Olympics. Do you really need to go and fucking do it again?
The biggest piece to this is that you're leaving the eyeballs at home. It makes no sense. Why are you leaving the eyeballs at home? The only thing that makes sense, right, is when it's Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas all over again.
They don't want drama. They don't want to piss off. Okay, we don't want to take one player to piss off, 12? Maybe that's the whole reason.
Arguably, too, though, the way the WNBA has been going, I wouldn't be shocked if
the way they're
if 8 of the players went to the union and was like, if you put her on the squad, we're not playing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kiss your gold medal goodbye. I can see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
That as well.
I don't want to, but the way everything has played out thus far in front of me,
absolutely.
It's very easy to create that writing on the wall. It's very easy.
I don't think you're trying that hard to write that on the wall. I think that's something that it's in a lot of people's minds already right now, the way that you said it.
Hearing the dry-ass excuses from some of the major sports networks, not all of them, but some of the majors, has just been sickening.
Well,
y'all have never watched the WNBA.
How about
we've watched the UFC and it looks a hell of a lot like it. What's that?
Exactly. The fact that they were ESPN, all these other sports outlets were putting words in her mouth too, saying that she said that she's so upset. Oh, it bothers me so much. And then she come out and had a presser after the game that they had the other night, and they go, "How do you feel about being snubbed from?" She goes, "I knew I wasn't going to be on the Olympic team since March." The fuck are you guys talking about?
And honestly, I've got something to work for in the future. I've got a lot to work for in the future or something.
And
some
that's-
shit
And I'm
like
like,
that.
it's idiotic to believe she's not going to make it in 4 years because majority of the team roster that's built right now in Team USA for this year, majority of them are either not going to be in the league or not going to be up par to make the roster for Team USA.
Talking about that too, why is the NBA so soft?
It's been a lot softer than the WNBA for sure this year.
It's so soft that the league had to create a minimum games played for the MVP.
Yeah, I never in my life would have thought that would be a mandatory thing that you have to have.
I mean,
in order to
it's
be
been
able
an
to qualify.
unwritten rule behind the writers,
Sure,
right?
nobody had to fucking know about it, but now you made it known.
But
This
you
is the
got
one thing that I am okay with as far as the All NBA and stuff like that. I can see that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not upset with it.
But don't
I
put it
think-
out there.
I think it should be 80 games. I think you should have to play 80 of 82 games. And when you go down the list, which we have on this show before, but to remind some people, like Kobe Bryant's career games played was like around 80. Michael Jordan, I think, was 80. Shaquille O'Neal was in the high 70s, right?
Yeah,
and
they're
you
all
go back
between
further,
75 to 80
you go
games.
you go back further and further, and the number keeps getting higher and higher until you hit like a certain point. And we'll just say it, when fucking Adam Silver took over, then all of a sudden all this
was a lot of
bullshit
record
started.
In, high 50s, low 60s is like your superstars.
I mean, I got to witness my nephew
Double
cry.
check on Dave.
Yeah, I got to witness my nephew cry because Steph Curry decided that Milwaukee was the best spot for him to rest because it was the end of a road trip. It's like, why are you so soft? Why is the NBA so soft?
That's the thing. You can't even run out there for 10 minutes.
World's best athletes, and you out there like acting like Achilles and Hercules
Yep.
in that goddamn 90s cartoon.
I just go here.
I just go to
just-
this place.
It
my
makes
safe
makes no sense to me. And then you get the shadow comments with, if that veteran minimum or if that game minimum for MVP wasn't there, Joel Embiid wouldn't have stressed himself out to play, and he
for
maybe
God's
not wouldn't have
sakes, you
been
really need to
hurt.
play for that.
Oh my God! And it's, wait a minute. People like Joel Embiid are the exact reason that veteran minimum should be. I think it's 65 games,
I
right?
think it's 75.
Oh no, it's not in the 70s. It's in the 60s.
Let me see.
But it should be in the 70s. It should be 75 to 78 games. I don't see. What's that?
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Talia Tagovailoa has been unable to convince the NFL team to sign him, so the Maryland quarterback has changed his career path. He signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the CFL. Yeah.
At the CFL? Why didn't he go to the UFL?
The CFL is probably more fun. There's
you
more,
think that-
way more fans at those games, dude. I was at the bar with Mandy, and then we went to go to eat. I watched that Birmingham football game. There was
we're
like
gonna get on
50
that.
people in the stands. That is fucking
Oh,
pathetic.
we're gonna get on that here in a second. But I believe PR is looking up the games.
Yeah, I'm looking for right now. So it is 65 game minimum rule. So you have to at least have 60 minutes, and each game you've had to at least play for 20 minutes out of those 65 games. So you have to average 20 minutes or more over a 65 game at a minimum 65 game to be eligible for the MVP award per season.
Oh shit.
So I'm like,
Yeah, if you think about that, how many of those games, if you sit out, your team has the potential to lose. So if you're only
You're
playing,
that MVP
if you
on
only
that
play the 60, yeah. Could you
And
really
then if
consider
you're rushing
yourself
to
an
come
MVP?
back, you're risking to get hurt again just to make a deep playoff run for what?
So it's the Kyrie Irving syndrome.
So you get paid more in the CFL.
That will do it.
So that would be why, yeah.
But I was saying this. I looked at the payroll for the UFL, and I'm like, where's the money come from? The NFL fund. The NFL makes a
I don't
shit ton of
think
money.
the
No. I'm saying the NFL makes a shit ton of money. Charles and I know that the UFL is literally funded by 4 teams. Like if you look at, you posted the attendance records, and they have to be losing money with 6 out of those 10 teams. Like 100%, they're losing money. There's no way. So these other 4 teams are literally paying for it. This is the freaking NCAA football thing all over again, where 30 teams are paying for the rest of college football as far as TV money goes.
Yes and no. So those handful of teams are covering a portion of the losses. Would be way more without those teams. But the money itself is coming from investors outside the league. Lots of them.
But you're losing money. There's no way. And people aren't even watching this shit. Like, it's on ESPN, but it's like it's
But the viewer,
like
but
ESPN and
11
Fox.
o'clock in the morning.
yeah, but just being on ESPN alone, that's a buttload of money. And
And then a lot of these
and the
players
thing is,
decline
it's
after
like
the
fake
league is done.
viewership. Yeah, a lot of them go into the NFL. A few of them go into the NFL afterwards. But you see, the thing is, if you can get a contract with ESPN, if you can get a time slot on ESPN, you're set for a while, because ESPN has them fake numbers. They're in
Well, of
every
course they
sports
do.
bar. They're in. Okay, so when somebody joins with ESPN, like, it doesn't matter if you got 600 people in the stands or 5 people in the stands, which is
I get
terrible.
that, but I understand how advertising works. You actually have to sell things in order to make money. You can't just because it's on doesn't mean that they're making money off of it. I understand that. I'm just
Right.
saying I feel like ESPN's
So,
a dying monster.
As a marketer, I
You
would
go-
contact ESPN
Yes, you would pitch
and look
yourself
for
to
a
them.
time slot for one of their USFL games. Absolutely.
Sure.
Because that would be cheaper than a time slot on First Take or a time slot on Get Up or something along those lines. But
Oh, yeah.
because it's ESPN, it's still going to make money. And that's
promoting it.
I have
the
more
days.
of a I just have more of a thing of who the fuck is watching it more than who's paying for it. I just don't
Somebody's
I don't
watching it.
care.
Just
I just
go
think it's
on.
crazy that it's
so to bring that point too, the teams marketing outside of a handful of them, 3 or 4, St. Louis Battlehawks for one, caused law. Unfortunately, the San Antonio Brahmas ended up beating us. They were the better team that day, so it was well deserved. But they averaged 30,000+ fans every game. And the DC Defenders, they've got good fans in the stands too. They're just a bunch of alcoholics. So it's funny. But when it was just the XFL and it was just the UFL, it was pretty bland. It's still pretty terrible football, but at times it's pretty interesting. It's pretty
But
exciting.
it's spring football. It's giving people to watch something, especially like in cities that don't have a team.
Yeah,
Even though it's a semi-pro team, I'm like St. Louis itself. They're excited just to have football back in St. Louis.
it's almost like they don't do a 50-50 or fucking nothing. How do you not get people into the stands? That's the thing. How do you not get people into the stands for spring football? It can't be because of the time of the games, right? Because you get 30,000 people into a fucking baseball game on a Wednesday afternoon. So don't give me that shit.
I just Googled the Birmingham attendance for the last game, and it said they sold 6,000 tickets, and somebody said, where? Where
Yeah.
the fuck were those 6,000 people? Yes, they sold 6,000 tickets. That means promoters. They gave them away to school children. They gave them away to all kinds of people. Yeah, they might have had that many tickets sold,
Right.
given away, but the fucking
mean they were in
people
the
were in the
See,
seats.
and here's the thing. If the tickets are $30, because I'm willing to bet. So why don't y'all look up the average price to an XFL game while we're talking about this? So let's just say the tickets are $30, right? And you're only selling 6,000. Why not sell them for $15, $8 to $15, and do a massive push in under targeted areas? It makes no sense to me. There's so many ways you could fill those stands, and you just don't. You got to give out food deals. You got to be giving out things in the stands.
And this is the thing. Do you know how much they're getting paid? So an active UFL
Not much.
will earn each player. They get paid $5,500 a week, and if you're not under contract but on the active roster, you get $2,500 per week. So they're not getting paid a
Ooh,
lot.
22 to $24 is the average ticket price.
Yeah, that's
I
what
think
I just
that's
saw.
yeah. I think that's too much. I think that's too much right now. You got spring football, and you need to create an environment. And when you end up having a winning product on the field, you do what the Detroit Lions did. Yeah, you increase the price for your season ticket holders by 400% in one season.
Guess what? They'll pay
they're
it.
gonna
They'll
do
pay
it.
it because they want
And
to
they're
fucking
gonna
watch
do
a
it.
winner.
And they'll do it. But
They
right
saw what you
now,
did last year, so they're invested in what you're doing in the future now. Because now you presented them with the possibility of hope to being a good
Right.
team for a long period of time. But if you're telling me, because even before they merged from USFL and XFL to create UFL,
right.
The Rock, when he bought the XFL from Vince McMahon and all that stuff, they didn't have player jerseys. All they had was Rock Johnson jerseys with his number. So you're not even giving these fans the opportunity.
It was hard to
buy
watch when it was
their
that. It was
team
really hard to
jersey
watch.
their players' team's jersey. So it's like, how are you expecting to pick up a revenue if I can't even pick up my quarterback's jersey or my running back or whatever? Not saying that they're going to be there forever, but it's like, give me the opportunity to be a fan of my players.
They were like the replacements jerseys, but they were just The Rock.
It's stupid.
Terrible marketing.
Like,
Terrible
every
marketing
team
101.
had a Rock's jersey, but just different team name and colors. I'm like, that's stupid.
So, would you rather spend $24 to go to a USFL game or $8 to go to an MLB game?
I'm going to the MLB.
Go to MLB game.
I'm going to an MLB game.
I know what I'm getting. I know the product that I'm getting.
Right.
I know
I think the food's better, the environment's better, the pro shop's better.
And the teams, even if the team sucks, you're still the kind of product that you're going to get,
Right.
the type of game you're going to get.
It's baseball.
It's
Professional
still,
baseball.
it's way too to be asking somebody to pay $25 to $50 for a ticket for something that's only been in existence for a newborn. It's a newborn baby that's barely learned how to walk.
Even if you sell 22% more tickets at $12, you're going to make more money than you did selling 6,000 tickets at $24 or more.
Because the Battlehawks were the only team to actually sell out a couple games.
And then imagine this.
Yeah, they sell out every
Imagine
opener.
this.
And then
You
the
go
playoff
to
games.
Birmingham Stallion, right?
Right.
You pay
Yeah.
$20 for this ticket, and then you end up having to pay $60 for some food.
But that's every fucking stadium.
But it's just so, again, you have to give me something. If I'm going to come see you guys, I don't mind paying $30, $40 for some food if the ticket only costs me $10.
Yeah.
It'll make sense. But if you're going to charge me just as much to get in to watch this mid-level game and pay pro-level prices for,
It's not like
Kick my
Birmingham
ass.
has the city of Birmingham and the metro area. They have no professional sports franchises, quote unquote.
What are you
professional.
charging
Well,
me
I thought
So
Birmingham
how-
played in Detroit.
So how the fuck? What?
I thought Birmingham played in Detroit.
Regardless, though, this is the thing. You're still wanting me to pay $25 for a ticket for a team that is mid, and you're charging me pro team concession stand food.
Oh, that's the Birmingham, Alabama.
I was just say the Michigan Panthers play in.
Oh, I thought it was
Birmingham
Birmingham
Stallions
Heights,
play in
like
Alabama.
Detroit.
No.
They're out of Birmingham Stallions are out of Alabama. But it's just, it makes no sense to me to charge that much.
How many people does that stadium hold?
It's probably like a good maybe 8,000 to 10,000 max, probably.
No, way more than that.
What the fuck is going on?
47,100.
Why? How has this team been around since 1983?
Dude, it's the UFL.
'Cause
The
you gotta think they're
UFL has
probably-
been
they're
around for a
probably bringing it
minute.
from-
I was they
They
were
are.
never. This is just crazy to me. They were talking about
The
1983.
Michigan Panthers and the Birmingham Stallions played one of the very first UFL games ever. Panthers ended up winning that one too.
Because you got to
Yeah, that was
remember,
back in the
that
80s, I
even
think.
though they're not tied together, the USFL is a recreation of what happened back in the early 80s, 90s, or whatever. And so is the UFL. The UFL was around before, so this is just like a
The UFL the UFL last ended in 2012.
so this is all just a big old reboot.
This isn't quite what the AFL and the NFL were back in the day, because those were actually good teams.
I'm like,
But
you're
yeah,
not
I
wrong.
understand what you're saying. It's a reboot. They're trying to redo. They're trying to make like A1B
They
NFL
merged both of them together.
UFL.
Yeah. I've got a random question to ask you two, and we're gonna start.
For you.
We're gonna bounce around to these moments, do some randos, get some dad jokes in. We're gonna start closing it.
I got a button.
I got a button. Do you love lamp also, PR? Do you?
Yeah.
Button.
Okay, so check this out. Check this out. Let's say we wake up in a world where the clock has turned back, and instead of Aaron Rodgers playing in Green Bay, it's Matt Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers is playing in Detroit. Does Matt Stafford have one ring or more, and does Aaron Rodgers bring a ring to Detroit? Would he have brought a ring to Detroit?
No, Matthew Stafford turned the ball over way too many fucking times.
So did Brett Favre.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers didn't.
I think Aaron Rodgers would still have a better career than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're
Stafford had his
caliber players, and I still think that
Stafford won a Super Bowl the moment he left Detroit, right? Like
Yeah,
not 12 seconds. Like not
fucking
I
stacked
still
ass
think
football
that-
team. Come on, let's be honest. They
Yeah,
had the best defense in the NFL.
Rodgers won a Super Bowl with barely
Mediocre
anything.
talent. Yeah.
And it's not taken away from Jennings or anything like that. They were good players, but to compare them to what
Charles
Stafford had at the
Woodson,
Rams-
Clay Matt. AJ Hawk's still the Green Bay's all-time tackle leader, right?
I'm talking offense. I didn't say nothing about defense. I said compared to what Stafford had as in the LA Rams his first year, it's not even remotely close to the same thing.
But maybe Matthew Stafford is the
I'm
guy.
telling you right now, Megatron and Aaron Rodgers would have won rings.
Yeah.
That would have been something to see.
Not with that Detroit defense. He wouldn't have fucking
But
won a ring.
the attraction would have.
Which coach does Aaron Rodgers win it with?
That's a question I don't think any Packer fan wants to fucking answer.
Caldwell is the one to do
You
it.
think it was Caldwell?
Yeah.
He's the one. Aaron Rodgers is the reason Caldwell doesn't have a job, but he would be the reason Caldwell won a Super Bowl.
And that fucker would have put him on both pinkies.
Would he have gone back to back? Back to back?
Back.
So you think Aaron Rodgers and Caldwell would have won one, but Mike McCarthy and Matt Stafford would not have won one? I'm on the other side of this.
I think that Aaron Rodgers would have way more success in Detroit.
Would have had a better. This is what we could do. Any of y'all have Madden or anything?
Yeah.
What? How far? What year?
2010.
Shit.
You can put him on there.
I think I have Madden 22 in my vault. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I have it. I'm gonna download it. I'm literally gonna swap Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers.
I want you. Don't you play it? You simulate it.
I'm
And you
gonna
let us
sim
know
the
what's going to
whole
happen.
season, and I'm gonna see what happens.
2022 though.
Yeah.
Man, we got to go back. We got to go back 2019.
But that's 21 season.
That's
it's a 21
so it's
season.
22.
So that is the year that he
2020,
year after he left to LA.
So he's
right?
still there. Let's just see. Let's just play.
Yeah, that is, I'm telling you, I think we need to get back to 2019. We need to get back to 2019.
I'm gonna go to my
on the Xbox Game Pass, I could go back to all the Maddens.
Okay,
see if you can find that. I'm gonna see what I have. See what Madden you can get a hold of on your Game Pass. And
so Charles is saying we need MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
and we need
you got
Matthew
to force
Stafford.
the trade for Stafford and Rodgers.
Can we
trade just them alone?
Charles, all right. Paul, I'm going to cut you off because I want Charles to do this, and we're going to do this on Twitch, and we're going to watch this live next episode.
Yeah.
Charles, do you think you can hook this up and figure this out?
Yeah, I can figure this out.
All right, sweet. I can't wait for this.
What season are we wanting?
Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be the 2019.
All right, so you're going to get Madden 19. All right.
Yeah,
so Madden 19, you get it locked and loaded, force that trade, and then we're going to watch it here live. How it works out.
All right, you and I got Aaron Rodgers, and Charles has Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Charles is getting a staph infection here.
What we should do is get Madden 2010.
Go for it.
That's the year the Green Bay won the Super Bowl.
That's the prime year.
Is Megatron still on the field?
Yeah, I think so. But I
Yeah.
think
Okay,
that's
so
also the year the Lions went
I
0
would
and
want one where
17.
Megatron is still in Detroit, whatever that year is. And if
Oh,
2010 is
boy.
probably the peak year, that's fine. Let's
we
swap
got to do
out.
we got to do the peak year, don't we? We got to do the year that
Yeah.
that
Right.
Green Bay
So we
won the
switch
Super
out
Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers, Stafford. We see one who had the better statistical career.
Yeah.
Two, who had the better record overall that year.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
you're gonna have
three,
to accumulate
who
a couple
was able
seasons.
to actually
you
get
can
the
see.
furthest in the playoffs.
Yeah. Let
Because
me see here.
I still think that Aaron Rodgers would Megatron, my guy. That would be insane.
Bro, listen. Aaron Rodgers would have just been chucking the ball his whole career.
And he would have caught
No.
every last one. How many Hail Marys has Aaron Rodgers thrown into the end zone and somehow, some way, one of you caught it?
Only two that matter. The dagger that got
And he
us
never
two.
had anybody.
You
like
remember that?
Megatron
You remember
to
that
jump
dagger
in
to
the air.
Cobb? Do you remember that dagger to Cobb?
He's never had anybody like Megatron.
All right, so Megatron played 2007 until 2015.
Yeah, so he'd be there in 2010.
All
So,
right.
are you guys want me to break down his 2010 season?
Yeah, let's see what he did in 2010.
All right, in 2010, he had 137 targets, 77 receptions, 1,120 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. Yeah, this is a pretty fair comparison then.
Okay. And Greg Jennings was y'all's top receiver that year, right?
I believe so, or was it?
Was it James Jones?
Might have been James Jones.
He played in 3 games in 2010.
Who's
Who?
that?
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I think so. That wasn't that one of it, like his second sophomore year or something.
Because he got drafted in 08 or 09.
Oh, might have been 08.
Yeah. Yeah, he went 57 and 96 for 535 yards, 59%. Oh man. All right, let's see what he did in 2011. Oh yeah.
2009 was his rookie year. So if you
Okay.
play Madden 2010, that was his rookie season. He's probably not going to be very good. So I think maybe 2012 is more of a.
So let's see when
fair.
he had his best year.
The very next year he threw for 5,000 yards.
Let's do 2012 then, or
So
20, which would be 2011.
2012. So it'd be
Yeah.
the year for 2011.
Yeah, it'd
which
be the
was-
2011
He
season.
had a 97 overall rating.
What was Rodgers then?
For
I feel like they're
2011.
pretty comparable. Rodgers and him would probably their QBRs are probably pretty close that year.
Yeah. Or was that the year he went down?
Hopefully he doesn't go down in the game. Would make this thing terrible.
I'm like, but it realistically, it shouldn't matter though.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, pretty not comparable at all, actually. He had a QBR of 83. Staffy
Rodgers?
had a QBR of 60. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he had a 122 overall rating.
Well,
And he
I
went
think this. I still think this is gonna be really fun.
He
I
had
think this-
45 touchdowns.
think
He had
it's
45 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
I'm like, he went 14-1.
Matt Stafford went 41 and 16. So
Yeah.
listen, the thing is, I still think that Matty Stafford would have won a Super Bowl with Green Bay.
We're
I
gonna
don't
find
think-
out.
Find out.
We're gonna find
Yeah,
out.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers. Because here's the kicker. Players could not help the Lions. It wasn't a player issue. It was the front office and coaching staff, and they were terrible.
Who was the head coach in 2011?
But Aaron Rodgers did give Nathaniel Hackett multiple jobs, and he's got to be one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in my life,
Not in your life.
in my whole life.
So in 2011, who was the coach for y'all in
Jim
2011?
Schwartz,
So in
Yeah.
2011,
Mike McCarthy for the Packers.
So
Fresh off a Super Bowl victory.
all right, we're gonna see. I think this is gonna be hella interesting. I'm not even gonna lie. This is gonna be
Okay.
very interesting to see how this pans out.
All right, so I got a little multiple choice here for you.
All right, run
Get
it.
it?
And this is going to be a precursor, precursor to what's coming up in future episodes. We're gonna be doing in future episodes a fun little Disneyland deep dive, but it's going to be more about Walt Disney. I'm going to let y'all out there know who Walt really is.
You sound upset.
But in the meantime, listen, trust me and Futurama, we on the same page.
Dude,
Okay.
he He put himself in a didn't he freeze himself or some shit?
Oh yeah. It'll be a fun fact. But Disneyland opened on this year on July 17th in Anaheim, California. It was the first Disney park designed under Mr. Walt himself.
Okay.
Years.
1938.
1938.
1922.
1955.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is definitely well after World War II. Because fun fact about World War II. Walt Disney aided Hitler.
Hated?
Aided.
Like
As
he
in
helped?
Funded, yes. Funded the Third Reich. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Walt Disney is well known to have aided the Nazi German regime. Another little fun fact about this is Walt Disney hated Jews.
Wow.
Absolutely. Futurama has a fun episode where they unfreeze Walt. Because he is frozen right now. Currently, Walt is frozen. And well, welcome to the year 26, whatever, Mr. Disney. And he goes, are the Jews dead? And oh my God, no, Mr. Disney. And he goes, don't wake me till they are. And then he closes his hatch again. The joke kills it unless you don't know.
I've seen this before.
About Walt himself. But yeah, so here in future episodes, we're going to deep dive Walt's payments to the Third Reich. And in fact, his hatred for Jews. So the most friendliest place for your children was built on the backs of a Jew hater. So keep that in mind when you're buying tickets to, yeah. Welcome to Disneyland, which, by the way, opened on July 17th, 1955. TV dinners were introduced in this year. Swanson introduced TV dinners, convenient frozen meals that became a staple of 19 blanks households. The first TV dinner included a Thanksgiving-style turkey meal with cornbread, stuffing, and peas.
I believe this is black.
Disgusting.
This is 1961.
1961.
53.
1953 coming in hot out of the stove like a TV dinner. PR gets it.
I didn't even know they had fucking microwaves back then.
In 1953, Swanson introduced TV dinners, convenient frozen meals that became a staple of the 1950s household. Of course, the first TV dinner included a Thanksgiving-style turkey meal with cornbread, stuffing, and peas.
That sounds gross.
Guaranteed to give you fucking colon cancer, 100%.
You and the toilet were friends immediately.
And apparently, in 1953, Sherpa Tenzing Norgay and British explorer Sir Edmund Hillary achieved the first human ascent to Mount Everest.
Did they make it back down?
I don't think they're stuck at the top. They probably made it down.
I was watching videos of people like falling.
Dude.
And everyone's, and someone's, oh my God, help them. And one guy in the background, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
I heard that if you climb, that there's like freaking
everywhere,
like statues everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere,
like hundreds of people dead.
Yeah, you can't bring them down.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Just carry them down like a fucking ice pop?
No, you can't. No. Yeah. So it's like unmarked graves everywhere.
Why are you attempting to do something that you're never gonna come back down to?
Well, because people are fucking stupid.
You're gonna freeze to death up there. What are you accomplishing?
You probably will.
Did you hear about the guy, the billionaire that's gonna attempt to go back down and see the Titanic again?
He's gonna die. So hopefully he doesn't have
here's the thing.
He doesn't go down there. Hopefully he upgrades a little bit and he goes down there with one of these instead of
it's a win
controller.
It's a win-win. If he goes down,
we got to worry about.
If he goes down and makes it, there are plenty of people out there who are willing to pay to do it. And if he does go down there and he doesn't make it, it's not his fucking problem anymore.
Absolutely, that's 100%.
Make sure your will is complete the way you want it by the time you go down there.
If you go down there and don't make it, he gives Charles and I and you another reason to fucking talk about something.
Whether the will's completed or not, my fucking problem.
Yep.
One less rich guy we got to worry about.
Not my fucking problem.
It's probably told you not to go down there, but you did it anyway, you dumbass.
You learned from the last 5 people that went down there?
Not my fucking problem.
Grandkids are going to be talking about you at your funeral and going, yeah, Grandpa was a dumb fuck.
You think that's how Darwin figured out his theory? He's just looking at shit and going, That
I'm not doing that.
that's definitely not my fucking problem.
That guy right there is gonna go down
That-
the bubble.
Woo!
Fuck that guy. Fuck that
If
guy.
That
Fuck
wasn't
that
my
guy,
problem.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that
That
guy.
definitely isn't my fucking problem.
Nope.
You see that issue over there?
And he goes to the scientific world. This is the theory of not my fucking problem. Darwin, man. Listen,
Hey, I said what I said. It's not my problem.
let's just call it Darwin's theory. But together, you and I know, not my fucking problem.
And guess what?
I lose no sleep over what happens to you if you go
Guess
down
what? And if you think it's my problem, it's not my fucking
It's not
problem.
my fucking problem. All right, hit us with some dad jokes, PR. Hit us with some dad jokes. Those were fun facts from the 1950s, by the way. 1950s.
Me and my wife, backstory. Wife went on a date today, right? The plan was to get us a bunch of gifts on a Amazon list. I completely, utterly forgot that I had this button on my list. I don't know how many jokes it has on here, but you just
I don't
turn it
care
on.
if it has one.
We're just gonna hit it a few times. All right.
All right, here we go.
You ready? Dad joke.
We're
number
ready.
one.
How do you make a tissue, Dad? You put a little boogie in it.
Why did it sound like Charles? I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
not like Charles.
I've got a hidden job under the name Mike Concho.
My God, Joe.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
How do you make a tissue, Dad? How do you organize an outer space party? You plan it.
You plan it.
Oh.
Last one of the day.
Why are elevator jokes so good? They work on so many levels.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Goldfish.
Oh, I love it here.
Man. Oh. Bum, 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 bum.
I love my job.
Oh man, my
Well, I
CVS
forgot it. You
rewards
should have.
card.
We should just do this. Yeah, we should just.
Oh, and she also got me this. Again, I did not know this was here on my list, but it's. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "I can't hear you. I'm gaming." Go
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I had to get rid of the sound canceling headphones because every
It's a
time I
killer.
put them on,
It's a
every
killer.
time, every fucking time I would turn and my wife would be looking at me going,
I'm like, huh?
and I'd be
I
like,
can't hear.
huh?
I can't hear nothing with these on. What did you say?
yeah. So then
Yeah.
now I got headphones where I can hear everything. Barely comes in to talk to me. I'm like, what was
So you
the
made me
point?
waste money.
What was the point?
Wasting
I love
money
you
out
so
here.
much.
Hey, the
I think that was
noise
me jumping the
canceling
gun.
on an airplane. Those things are priceless.
Listen, I
Yeah.
know I record with these, but these right here
Yeah.
come with me on every airplane ride.
Yeah.
That I go.
Yeah, I can't
How,
stand.
what's the
people talking.
longest you've ever slept on an airplane? Go.
I can't sleep on an airplane.
I was the longest one I was ever on was only a 6-hour flight, so I would say like 5 hours and 55 minutes.
I hate flying. And
14 hours.
I
14
What do you have to at that point?
Well, I'm like, when you're deploying and coming back, you ain't
Yeah,
got
no
no
shit.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you count that air flight, then of course I slept
8.
for like, wait, 10,
Yeah, you want a fucking flight.
I'm,
8.
I'm flying across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, yeah. 8 liquid capsules. Hell yeah. 8 liquid capsules. I'll still never forget sitting in the plane heading to go back. Did I tell you guys this story? But heading to go back to Iraq.
Yeah, you told us.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You told us-
Yeah, I'll never forget. For new listeners out there, quick portion of the story. When the power went out in the plane, I'd never forget that guy looking at me. Planes can't fly without power. Planes can't fly without. Relax, motherfucker. We're either gonna die here or die in Iraq. It don't matter to me, man. I probably ain't gonna feel this as much as I'm gonna feel the other one. Jokes on that motherfucker. I made it through both them bitches.
I get a kick out of people who literally. I'm not going to be. I guess it's not being very dark with this, but let's just be honest. If a fucking airplane that big goes down in an ocean, you're
You're not
fucking
making
dead.
it.
You're dead.
You're
So
I
not
better
any-
be dead. I
anything
better be
they tell
fucking
you-
dead.
If you
you're
don't believe that
dropping
what they're
from
telling you is
30,000
making you
feet
feel
in the
better,
air,
that's all it's fucking doing.
Chances are I'm gonna fucking survive, and I'm gonna be laying on a goddamn plane wing. I'm gonna have to fight off 3 waves of sharks. Not even sure where the 3rd fucking wave came from. And by the time I get saved, that's what would happen. I'd be just pissed.
If
Let's
I'm
just-
in a plane and it's coming down 30,000 feet, 35,000 feet, from
I'm
the air,
unbuckling my seatbelt.
my heart is going to fail.
Let's just
You-
get
lucky.
Sully, there's not a million fucking.
Fucking lucky.
There's not a million. Come on. There's not a million Sully Sullenbergers that are gonna fucking land in
No,
Austin.
I'm taking my seatbelt off.
Not every pilot is gonna freaking.
You know what would happen
and
too?
land you on the fucking water like a reef.
I promise you, on the way down to dying, right? I'm gonna make sure I'm dead. I'm gonna top my seatbelt off. There's gonna be a motherfucker next to me going, "The seatbelt sign is on."
Yeah, and you're gonna go, well,
Motherfucker!
Hey, fuck you and your seatbelt.
There ain't enough time for me to tell you what I want to tell you, but good on you.
in that moment of sheer panic when the plane's going down and the alarms are going off, how many people you think are trying to jump out of that plane? We'll get
Not enough.
bring her back up.
Not enough.
Trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying and probably peeing on myself.
I've always thought about this. If I'm falling with an object, I'm going to do my damnedest to try and jump off it just before it hits the ground, just to see if it works. I'm already fucking dead, so I might as well try something.
You gonna belly flop, or you just gonna do cannonball?
No, because if I could,
spring load,
if I could learn how to fall limp, I would just do that, and I'd survive, easy peasy.
I'm going cannonball.
But honestly, I would like just jump. I would just.
Or would you maybe seal that thing and go feet first?
I mean, I already took my seatbelt off. In this moment, I think that there's a chance for me to
going for
survive,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I've already told you if there's the 100% I'm dying, I'm taking the seatbelt off.
he's taking the 0.0001% chance
I'm
that
gonna
quite
be
possibly
that
he
guy.
land on top of somebody else.
But if I, in this moment, I'm like, oh shit, I could do this, and
It's
Who
either
knows?
die like a fool or die real cool trying to survive.
either way, it's not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
We're going either way.
It's not my
Whoever's got to
fucking
pick up
problem.
the bodies when the recovery zone. So
See, when people start thinking about death, they're like, oh, what about this? What about that? When you just realize the two things about death, super simple to realize. It's faster than going to sleep, depending on how you die, but it's faster than going to sleep. And it's not your fucking problem afterwards. No matter what you've got to tell me after that, no matter what you've got to tell me, my answer will be, it's not your fucking problem anymore. What? Not your fucking problem.
This plane is about to kill us. What are you worried about at this point?
Not your fucking problem. There ain't a problem. You ain't got a problem left. Not one.
This is the last thing you're going to do in your life, right?
It's a pretty big problem that the plane's. No, it's not actually.
oh,
The problem has been solved. It's going down.
It's
guess what happens in the plane? The plane
It's going
crashes.
down. That's the problem.
It's done.
And
It's over.
it's all
worst
control.
case scenario, you survive. Because then you wake up to either being burned alive to jet fuel, bear eating your ass, shark eating your ass, drowned in the middle of the ocean,
Or you're floating
stuck
around
on a
on
fucking
a
island.
piece of bleeding
It's
to
the
death.
Atlantic Ocean, so you're freezing to death.
Oh,
Yeah.
What you think? Oh, if I survive this, I'm gonna get a movie deal. Nobody fucking cares if your story isn't cool. So unless
By
you're
the time
fighting three
somebody
waves
does
of fucking sharks,
And by the time a chopper
Or-
comes
or-
all
or
the way
like
out there to
Charles
come
brought
get
up.
you, you're probably frozen half to death.
Oh yeah. Charles brought up, or if you're fighting a bunch of freaking fifth graders.
yeah, there it is. That's what I said. Why is there three waves of sharks? Because a movie wouldn't be cool with two waves of sharks, and the universe
Gotta
knows
have
that.
trifecta.
So if we're on a plane together and it's going down, don't sit next to me. You're gonna live, and it's
I
gonna
want
be
you to go-
fucking miserable afterwards.
I want you to
Now
go
you got to
through
figure out how to live on.
Fuck.
the lemon sharks, the hammerheads, and then the great white sharks, and then you'll have to fight the Queen of England, who's in charge of all the sharks.
You're messing with her dolphins.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
I just
messing with
rode
the
this.
dolphins.
God forbid I find a dolphin that rides me to safety but takes me to England. Now I'm in jail forever for riding a fucking dolphin that was the
I wish you
Queen's.
died on that plane crash.
Did you
That's
see
what I'm
the new
saying. If you
Aquaman?
don't die on the plane, you can't then just give up and die. You survived a fucking plane crash, so now you gotta fight. You gotta continue your will to survive at that point. You missed your chance of dying. You should have took your seatbelt off.
You, Darwin, 101.
Not my fucking problem.
Not my fucking problem.
Anything that ends in the solution, not my fucking problem, that feels like it's a pretty good win.
I see no issues with that.
So Tarek Skubal coming in at a 1.92 ERA is lowest by a Tigers starting pitcher in the first 13 starts.
Oh, he's one of the best pitchers
since
in baseball.
Al Benton, 0.99, and Hal Newhouser, and that was in 1945. Those are some names to be with. That dude, Cy Young. I'm calling it now.
Dude,
Cy Young.
he lights out, just obliterated the Brewers.
Oh, and yeah, and
And he does it to everybody. Even his two losses, think he only gave up 2 or 3 runs, so it's not like he's been getting hit.
No, his losses are because the Tigers aren't producing runs,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
was not the case in the last game.
The Tigers they're all right. They're not a terrible baseball team.
No, they're comfortably 500, which is better than they have been the last few years.
I'll take a 500 team. This is not we didn't expect them to make the playoffs this year. We expect them to compete for the playoffs. So we're getting exactly what we expected from them.
We'll see if they sell. We'll see if they sell at the half, because if they sell at the half, it's going to be the same fucking thing over and over again. But if they
haven't in the last few years, though, they haven't sold in the last few years.
They tried last year, but they had 2 pitchers tell them, fuck off, I'm not leaving Detroit. And that may have been it may have been the stake that allows for great gameplay. The Brewers are, of course, still leading the the NL Central.
I don't think anybody outside of the Brewers even wants to win that division this year, because it seems like everybody else is just shit in the bed.
It does seem like people are waiting to come to the baseball field, which is weird to me, because this is actually normal Craig Counsell play. It's just unfortunate for Craig that
we could have warned you this is what you're going to get with him.
It's unfortunate with Craig. It's the same coaching style. I don't think that can win a World Series, let alone extend games into the playoffs.
I'm interested to see what the Cubs are going to try to do after the All-Star break.
What scares me the most about the Cubs was that the main players said, I'll give you 1 year. Like, that's what was weird to me.
Yeah, that's
especially with Craig coming in. Now, the emergence of old boy there from Japan who finally came back down to earth a little bit there, but who is it? And then I got my guy.
Yeah, my guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's weird seeing the bats do what the bats have been doing in Chicago. What say you, PR?
Like it's been the same thing all season. It's been, you get my hopes up and then you crush them towards the end of the game. Like towards the bullpen has been struggling so bad, and it's just our bats aren't just doing it. Like we're not doing it enough consistently, and it's just like it's depressing. It's utterly depressing to watch. Like we get hot for a game or two, and then all of a sudden it's just like we just flame out. And honestly, the division is for the Brewers to lose at this point. There's no competition in the Central at this point, because if y'all lose the division, it's because y'all sucked and dropped the ball. That is the only way that y'all lose the division.
Our starting pitching, our starting rotation is really what's going to cause the hiccups, because there's this roller coaster of inconsistency that is destroying our bullpen, right? And like guys that have coming out 3 times in 4 days, that third time, I mean, it's destroying their ERA. And we've got a couple pitchers right now where when they're on the mound, it's a loss until it's a win, which is terrible in baseball.
Yeah, they got a couple good pitchers though in the minors that are doing really well. So I think
the guys we've called up so far have been doing really good. Myers,
It looks like Gasser is out for the season.
Dude, yeah,
he's out for the season.
Oh man, see, unfortunate injuries. I think, you know me, Patrick. I don't like to start making baseball predictions until after July.
No, but when you're almost 8 games up, you can start talking about postseason.
Yeah, there's a lot of games of baseball. And because in a month and a half, the Cubs can be 8 up on the Brewers because of the injuries on the pitching staff. And, it seems laughable now.
They have a lead on any of us right now. So I know that doesn't seem like a lot now in the first third, because we're in June, April, May, basically the first quarter of the season. But I'm like, that's a hill to climb in itself. And it's hard to close that gap when we keep shooting our own foot.
Yeah. And then you've got Pittsburgh, where they got 2 young bloods right now gassing people. I think their average pitch mile per hour is like 99.8. And that's because they throw a curveball and a slider every once in a while. But it's like 101.
Pittsburgh never keeps any talent. They'll trade it away.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some of those arms.
Brewers aren't going to be able to afford any of those arms, but
as much as I would love for the Cubs to make a move, they need to make a splash somehow, some way. I don't know what that looks like, but again, I just don't see at this point right now. If the season were to end next month, like this would be the last month of the season, I just don't see y'all losing the division at this point.
No, it
Again,
is ours to lose.
A lot can happen. A lot can happen. We still got a lot of baseball left. I get it. Chill out, Chicago.
The Brewers would have to play. They played the toughest part of their schedule though, the first half. So the second half gets easier.
Gets much easier, which
So
is
I
the
would
most
say that
dangerous part. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Baseball doesn't.
that's what I mean. There's
The NFL. I wouldn't be as worried about baseball.
we're Tigers fans just as much as we are Brewers fans, and I believe
Yeah.
the stank from the Tiger might be dripping over a little bit, but it's okay to be cautiously optimistic.
It's that worrisome optimism. You're like, oh yeah, we've seen this shit before. Like Charles says, yeah.
We did just get our ass kicked by an Arizona team that in the playoffs, and that kind of just blew my
talk to
mind.
me. You're like, talk to me about 2 months from now.
It bums me out that my first playoff baseball game was a loss, so we need the Brewers to get back so we can.
But on a good note, you got to meet the kids' parents.
Yeah, Corbin's dad. Yeah,
it wasn't all that bad.
No, it was a great trip. Casamigos patio was fantastic.
Charles is talking about this. We gotta go.
Casamigos patio. That's so good. Patrick, PR, you guys got anything else you want to add? Anything special that popped up?
I think we hit her. We hit her right on the head. You got to get that ready for next week, though. We do got to get this Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Madden football live stream going on. We'll find somebody.
Make sure you clip that. Get that question out on old TikTok and whatnot. See how the world takes that. If Aaron Rodgers played for Detroit and Matt Stafford played for Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll make a little TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, so the one thing I did want to bring to the table just real quick was I was watching Let's Make a Deal this week, or last week. I was watching Let's Make a Deal last week, and Shaggy was on Let's Make a Deal primetime, and I got to tell you, I didn't understand a fucking thing that guy was singing, but goddamn, it was awesome. And I was screaming at the TV. I was like, bro, whatever you do, you just have to pick Shaggy's prize. I don't understand it either, but you got to pick Shaggy's prize. And he did. He won a trip around to like the Caribbean or the Bahamas, and then he won $50K. Shaggy came on and just gave more money away, and it was so fucking cool.
All I can think of is it was him actually announcing the numbers.
It made me want to put on some swim shorts. It was just so cool. So I wanted to give Shaggy a big old shout out. What a dude. What a guy. And please, if you have to announce anything at all that I'm a part of, I hope not. But I'm going to pick you every time. So every time, especially with that voice. That was insane. So if nobody else has anything at all to add, for all of our listeners out there, our subscribers, our likes, the shares, the comments, the continued support, we see you. We appreciate you. We care about you. This month there's all sorts of stuff to be aware of. Something we like to focus on here is the mental health side of things. If you need help, please reach out to anyone. I promise you, even a stranger. You need to see a smile. One of my favorite things to do all time is if I'm needing a smile, just smile first. Yeah. And you'll receive a smile back, I promise. Somebody will see you, I promise. So get out there, get yourself the help we want you to get, because the world is a much better place with you in it. We love you more.